The USS Zumwalt DDG-1000 has carried out a new round of sea-based evaluations after completing a major modernization period that transformed it into the U.S. Navy's first platform configured for conventional prompt strike (CPS) missions. The trials mark the successful conclusion of builder's sea testing conducted by HII's Ingalls Shipbuilding facility. Brian Blanchette, Ingalls Shipbuilding president, said, "We have achieved a pivotal milestone with our Navy and industry partners to advance this complex modernization work that will set a precedent for the Zumwalt-class. I'm very proud of the team effort and their critical role to advance the U.S. Navy's first warship with hypersonic capabilities." In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how Zumwalt warships is set to change the game with hypersonic CPS missile. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted and fastest VPN brand that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte. NordVPN provides a 256-bit encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy and also enables you to access contents that are blocked based on geolocation. Its threat protection system helps you avoid phishing, scams, and malware. NordVPN application is available for all the major platforms as well as browsers. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive saving by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Conventional Prompt Strike, CPS, refers to a non-nuclear hypersonic weapon concept built around an intermediate-range boost glide architecture. The complete missile package consists of a two-stage solid-fueled booster that accelerates the weapon to extreme altitude and velocity, paired with a common hypersonic glide body, CHGB, that delivers warhead. The U.S. Department of Defense has developed the CHGB as a standardized hypersonic payload intended to underpin multiple offensive strike systems. Rather than creating separate glide vehicles for each branch, the Pentagon opted for a shared design that could be adapted by both the U.S. Army and the U.S. Navy, with the Navy designated as the lead service for the glide body's development. The CHGB traces its technical lineage to earlier hypersonic research programs. Its design draws heavily from the alternate reentry system, which was flight tested in the early 2000s under the Army's Advanced Hypersonic Weapon Initiative. That system itself evolved from the Sandia Winged Energetic Reentry Vehicle experiment, a prototype developed by Sandia National Laboratories during the 1980s. To support joint use, the glide body's physical dimensions and interfaces have been standardized across both services. In a CPS launch sequence, the booster lofts the glide vehicle to very high altitude along a ballistic trajectory. After separation, the glide body re-enters the atmosphere and travels toward its target at sustained hypersonic speed, skimming through the upper atmosphere rather than following a predictable ballistic arc. Hypersonic flight is generally defined as speeds above Mach 5, or more than 5 times the speed of sound. Roughly 1,715 meters per second, 3,836 miles per hour, or 6,174 kilometers per hour. Unlike traditional ballistic warheads, the CHGB is designed to maneuver during flight, allowing it to alter its path and evade defenses. It is also far faster than conventional cruise missiles, combining extreme velocity with an unpredictable trajectory. This blend of speed and maneuverability significantly complicates interception, as there are currently no widely deployed defense systems capable of reliably countering such weapons. Each branch of the U.S. military will incorporate the CHGB into service-specific weapon systems, whether launched from land-based platforms or naval vessels. Within U.S. strategy, CPS is viewed as a means of delivering rapid, long-range conventional strikes against high-value targets, offering a powerful non-nuclear option for strategic deterrence and response. Zumwalt-class destroyers were originally designed around an advanced weapons layout that included 80 Mark 57 vertical launch cells arranged along the ship's perimeter under the Peripheral Vertical Launch System, PVLS, along with two 155mm naval guns. The Mark 57 launch cells are versatile, capable of accommodating a single SM-2 or SM-6 long-range surface-to-air missile, an ASROC anti-submarine weapon, or up to 4 evolved Sea Sparrow missiles for short-range air defense. They are also compatible with Tomahawk cruise missiles, giving the class significant strike flexibility. The pair of 155mm advanced gun systems, AGS, were intended to provide long-range precision land attack fire. Using a specialized munition, they were expected to engage targets at distances approaching 60 miles, around 95 kilometers. That munition, known as the Long-Range Land Attack Projectile, LRLAP, ultimately proved impractical. Originally projected to cost about $50,000 per round, the price ballooned to roughly $800,000, leading the U.S. Navy to cancel the program altogether. With the gun-based mission no longer viable, the U.S. Navy opted to redefine the Zumwalt's role. Rather than operating primarily in littoral environments, the class was redirected toward blue water operations, with an emphasis on long-range strike. Central to this shift was the decision to equip the ships with hypersonic weapons. USS Zumwalt, which arrived at HII's Ingalls Shipbuilding facility in Pascagoula in August 2023, became the first ship of the class to undergo extensive modification. This overhaul is part of a broader modernization effort funded through a contract awarded to Lockheed Martin, valued at up to $2 billion, aimed at integrating hypersonic strike capabilities across the Zumwalt fleet. The ship completed undocking in December 2024, marking a major milestone in the upgrade process. According to reporting, the Navy has determined that the Zumwalt's hull can support 4 large-diameter missile tubes, each measuring approximately 87 inches. Every tube is designed to carry 3 CPS missiles, giving the ship a total loadout of 12 hypersonic weapons once fully configured. The return of USS Zumwalt to active service equipped with hypersonic strike weapons would mark a significant milestone for the U.S. military, and in particular for a ship class that has long been the subject of debate and criticism. A successful reintegration would underscore a fundamental shift in how the Navy intends to employ the Zumwalt-class destroyers. By arming the class with CPS missiles, the U.S. Navy is seeking to extract greater operational value from a platform that cost roughly $7.5 billion per ship. Although the Zumwalt program introduced a host of cutting-edge technologies, it has frequently been portrayed as an overly expensive experiment with limited practical payoff. The hypersonic upgrade could redefine that narrative. The modernization plan extends beyond the lead ship. The Navy intends to apply the same CPS integration to the second and third vessels in the class, USS Michael Monsoor, DDG-1001, and USS Lyndon B. Johnson, DDG-1002, with the goal of having all 3 destroyers fully mission-capable by fiscal year 2028. Notwithstanding the difficulties encountered during development, the 3 Zumwalt-class ships remain the most technologically sophisticated surface combatants ever fielded by the U.S. Navy. Their design incorporates numerous next-generation features, including integrated electric propulsion, a low-observable, angular hull to reduce radar signatures, and a wave-piercing, tumble-home hull form. Extensive automation supports fire suppression and damage control, while a composite deck house houses sensors and radar systems in a way that further minimizes detectability. Each vessel is capable of generating up to 78 megawatts of electrical power, a level of output that enables the operation of energy-intensive systems such as advanced radar suites and future directed energy weapons. Once equipped with CPS missiles, the Zumwalt class will gain a long-range hypersonic strike role, transforming these ships into highly survivable, high-impact platforms. This capability would place them among the most powerful surface combatants in the U.S. Navy's inventory and give the class a clearly defined mission at the forefront of future naval warfare.